This episode is brought to you by Indeed. Stop waiting around for the perfect candidate. Instead, use Indeed sponsored jobs to find the right people with the right skills fast. It's a simple way to make sure your listing is the first candidates see. According to Indeed data, sponsored jobs have 4 times more applicants than non-sponsored jobs. So go build your dream team today with Indeed. Get a $75 sponsored job credit at Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply.
Zootopia 2 has come home to Disney Plus.
Let's go!
Get ready for a new case.
We're the greatest partners of all time!
New friends.
Gary the Snake.
And your last name?
The Snake.
Dream Team. New habitats.
Zootopia has a secret reptile population.
You can watch the record-breaking phenomenon at home. Zootopia 2, now available on Disney Plus, rated PG. And right now you can get Disney Plus and Hulu for just $4.99 a month for 3 months with a special limited time offer. Ends March 24th. After 3 months, plan auto-renews at $12.99 a month. Terms apply.
Kraft Mac and Cheese is better than 90s hip-hop. We'll remind you of your childhood without making you feel incredibly old. Kraft Mac and Cheese. Best thing ever.
Sensational Sunday for Great Britain and Northern Ireland, and a brilliant championships for British athletics. I'm Michael.
And I'm John, and this is Anything But Footy, the Olympic and Paralympic sport podcast. We talk about the Olympics and the Paralympics all the time, not once every 4 years.
And in just 30 minutes, 3 golden girls. Keely Hodgkinson, Molly Caudery, and Georgia Hunter-Bell.
Coming into this as the favourite as well, I really had to mentally be strong, and I'm proud of myself for that. So yeah, very, very happy.
And Josh Kerr is king of the middle distance again.
Yeah, it's good to be back and not having any issues.
We will round up the world indoors, including the best ever British performance from Scott Lincoln in the men's shot put.
I honestly thought I could have gone out there and won it today, but it just didn't quite go my way.
And with the rest of the news from the games, including Wimbledon and the British Gymnastics Championships in Liverpool as well.
It's a classic. Athletics, tennis, gymnastics, all the good ingredients for a great Anything But Footy. Do download, do listen, do follow. We are gearing up for Glasgow and looking ahead to LA. So in just a half-hour spell, Keely Hodgkinson, Molly Caudery and Georgia Hunter-Bell all won gold medals at the World Indoor Athletics Championships in Poland. Keely won the gold in the 800 metres in a time of 1:55.30. That was a championships record for the Olympic champion and, of course, the world record holder. Georgia Hunter-Bell, her training partner and her friend, watched on after running the fastest time of the year in the women's 1500 metres. She broke the British record as well, 3:58.53 for the record. Australia's Jess Hull won the silver, Nikki Kiltz of the USA the bronze. And that was before Molly Caudery, putting her Paris heartache and her Tokyo injury nightmare behind her. She won her second pole vault world indoor title. Remember, she won it back in Glasgow in 2024. A season's best clearance of 4:85 to take that gold again. What an incredible 30 minutes of British sport. What an incredible 30 minutes of women's sport as well. Now, that is Georgia Hunter-Bell's first global gold medal. For someone who walked away from the sport in her 20s, only came back a couple of years ago. I've been saying it for a long time, and I said it to her tonight. We've been chatting quite a lot for the last 2 years, and I've been telling everyone that will listen, I've told you that I thought the gold medal would come, and here you are tonight, a global champion. What does that mean?
Yay, it means a lot, yeah. I feel like I went into the race today thinking I'm definitely capable. But it's one thing to feel like you're physically in shape, but another to actually do the job. So yeah, no, I'm very, very happy. It's been a good road to get here. I feel I had some demons from Appledore last year going in as the favourite. So coming into this as the favourite as well, I really had to mentally be strong, and I'm proud of myself for that. So yeah, very, very happy for the race I put together out there.
The country are very proud of you too, but talk us through the race, because you had to do all the hard work.
Yeah, I did. So we obviously went off quite quick. And then Halon made a big move. And I just saw the gap getting bigger and bigger. So I was like, we've got to go. We've got to close this. So I made the decision to go around Jess, and I knew that the whole pack would be sitting on me. But I just felt really good, and I actually prefer when the race is like that. Like I prefer that style of running a 1500 than to the heat that we had the other day, where it's a big burn up. So yeah, like I actually really enjoyed that, and that was just such a fun race. Like I was patient, and yeah, I felt like I'm a deserving winner there because I did quite a lot of the work, and then still was able to pull away.
What was that moment like when you crossed the line and knew you were a world champion?
Just relief. Like I think I'll process it a bit more in terms of the like world champion element, but just like going into a big race like that and knowing that I can make it and do a good job. Thank you so much. Like it means the world. You could tell I was probably quite relieved for crossing the line.
An amazing 30 minutes for British athletics, for British sport. They'll be talking about Sensational Sunday for a while, won't they? What was it like to be part of it?
Oh, so cool. Like, yeah, I was really inspired by Josh's performance yesterday. I came to the stadium to watch, and I think that really set the tone for today. And then, yeah, we were just, I'm happy that I could lead the night's events. And yeah, I saw Keely and I wanted to stay and watch her race, but she didn't know that I had won because she didn't want to watch my race. So she was like, I haven't seen it. Like, where did you come? And then I said, I won. So then she was, we were celebrating that. And then Molly came over. So yeah, it was awesome moment for the girls.
Quite a night to be the captain of the Great Britain and Northern Ireland team, wasn't it?
Yeah, I feel like that's extra special, like being the captain and bringing it home.
And just finally, before I let you go, what next? We've got a big outdoor season with the Commonwealth Games in Glasgow, a European Championships in Birmingham, and Ultimate World Championships as well. Do you know your plans at the moment?
Yeah, I'll be doing all of them, making sure, providing everyone's healthy. I'll be there at all of them. Wouldn't want to miss out on a home champ. So yeah, lots of fun stuff to look forward to this summer.
And just before I let you go, I mean, what message would you give to everybody who maybe is thinking about giving something up, and you thought about giving this up and now you're on top of the world?
Yeah, well, I mean, I did give it up. So, like, I think it's okay to take a break, from something if you're not enjoying it anymore. But, like, it's never too late to go back to something that you love. There's it's made me such a happier person going back to running. Obviously, it's also changed my life now that I'm a pro athlete. But even before that moment came, I was just a much happier version of myself going back to something that I've done my whole life that I love, and I love the running community. So, yeah, it's never too late to go back to something like that.
Well, we've loved watching you. Thanks for your time. Congratulations. And I hope to see you soon.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Bye.
So Georgia Hunter-Bell talking to Michael after that amazing half an hour of British sport. We talk about Super Saturday still from 2012. It's never going to be the same, but this is history making for Great Britain in the World Indoor Championships. I don't think we'd ever won 3 gold medals at the championships before, certainly not in a day, and then to do it in half an hour as well. And these three, I mean, you could say Keely was always going to win because she's, as you say, the world lead. She's the Olympic champion. She's in a superb form in these indoors season so far. Molly Caudery, we just wanted her to. I put a bit of pressure on her, didn't I, in one of the preview episodes, saying that it was time for her to step up. Yes, she'd had injury, heartache in Tokyo, but Paris was a complete and utter nightmare in the Olympics for her, and we wanted to see her back like we did in Glasgow in 24, and she really proved that today. And the fact that she won that gold medal, it wasn't because someone failed. She actually cleared 485, and that was really good to see. When the pressure was on, she really stepped up. And then your mate Georgia, as we've just heard as well. When you met her 2 years ago in Glasgow before those World Championships, did you really think that she'd be a world outdoor silver medalist, an Olympic medalist, and now a world indoor gold medalist?
Yeah, I think I did. I think if you listen back to these podcasts for the last 2 years, you'll probably hear me say it time and time again that I thought she was, when I watched her race, I thought she was something special, and she has been something special. Interesting in that interview, a little bit of like Spain 82 or Mexico 86 in the quality of the line that we had to Poland to speak to Georgia. And, I really do appreciate, first and foremost, her time in chatting to us in the aftermath of what was obviously a huge night. So appreciate Georgia always speaking to anything but footy and chatting to me there. There was just something about her that just made me think some kind of instinct. I don't know that she was going to go on. At first, I was convinced she was going to reach the Olympics and get to that Olympics team. And I kept saying that to her, that you're going to get to the Olympics. And then when she was selected, I kept saying, you're going to win a medal. You're going to win a medal. And she did win a medal. Interesting in that interview that she cited the Europeans in Appledorn last year and the Demons, because she went into that hot favourite. I think we probably would have said, wouldn't we, in the build up to that she was definitely going to win the medal, win the gold medal there. And it didn't happen for her. And she's had so much go right in such a short space of time that it was actually interesting there. How would she react to something going wrong? And that is the only thing that's gone wrong in her career. And tonight, of course, has gone right. It's gone really right. And I just think she can stay injury free. And in terms of her athletics career, she's 19, 20 years of age. Do you know what I mean when I say that? I know she came back to the sport at the age of 30, but she's only actually 2 years into this career, and so she's got to do a lot in a short space of time, because at some point the body will start being a little bit more unforgiving. So she's confirmed there. She's going to go for the Europeans in Birmingham. She's going to go for Glasgow in the Commonwealth Games. She's going to go for that Ultimate World Championships in Budapest as well. She has to just keep chasing these titles, and I think that's fantastic.
No, absolutely right. And just on Keely Hodgkinson as well, I said we all knew she was going to win, but actually the pressure that she can deliver. You talked about Georgia feeling the pressure at the Europeans, and she made the mistake and she finished fourth, and she said she wanted to learn from that. Keely Hodgkinson just delivers each time. Okay, maybe in the World Outdoors last year in Tokyo, it didn't quite go her way, but generally, when you know she's the fastest, and we knew she was coming into these Worlds, she was never going to get beaten. Everyone was talking it up, but they were going for silver medals, weren't they?
Yeah, I mean, and then she showed that in the relay. She ran the quickest leg in the 4x400 meter relay than anyone else in that race, despite the fact she'd run her 800 meters about an hour before, half an hour before, and won the gold medal. She's a class above. I think when she went to the outdoors last year, we knew that she wasn't 100% fit in terms of her body was back, but she hadn't had the racing. But a fit, healthy Keely Hodgkinson, no one can touch her at the minute. She's had to learn her lessons. She's had global silver medals and had to watch other people win. And she's come through that, albeit at a young age. And in a similar way to Georgia, now is her time. I don't think we can, and a lot of people will talk about Keely Hodgkinson. She could dominate this event for a decade. She could dominate this event for 3 Olympic cycles. We don't know who's coming around the corner. We don't know who's next. We don't know what injuries might happen for her. She just needs to go now and target everything she possibly can now and win as many gold medals and as many big titles as she can now. And that is what she's doing. And I just want to say a word about Molly Caudery as well, because a lot of people ask the question, which of the 3 golds, do you think was the best? And you could definitely make an argument for all 3. Keely, so dominant. Georgia, the final global gold after the comeback.
And a British record as well. And a British record as well, taking Laura Muir's British record. I mean, that's impressive from Georgia's point of view, that she's delivering.
Yeah, I think if you were asking me to choose one tonight, it's Georgia Hunter-Bell for me. But Molly Caudery, after 2 years of wretched injuries and all the demons and the, what was it, mental warfare? Was that the phrase that we're going to hear from Josh Kerr shortly? All the mental warfare that she would have gone through in the last couple of years, that runs it very, very close for what she's done tonight. But hey, what a night. What a championships for British athletics. Really good.
Absolutely.
And let's talk about Josh Kerr, actually, because I think in amongst all of that, a lot of people are forgetting he won gold for Great Britain and Northern Ireland in the men's 3,000 metres at the World Indoors in Poland on Saturday evening. He won the title, of course, back in Glasgow in 2024. Then he was injured, missed the Outdoor World Championships last year, got injured in that final, so just wasn't really involved as far as that race was concerned. It's a return to form early for him in this season, which will also see him go for European and Commonwealth Games titles in Birmingham and Glasgow. Olympic champion Cole Hocker was second. Jan Schrupp of France won the bronze. And I spoke to Josh the morning after the Saturday night success, and I just wondered whether he might be a bit sleepy after his celebration from the night before, which of course was a little bit of a dig at Cole Hocker, who'd done that same celebration at the Melrose Games in New York earlier on in the season. Here's Josh.
Oh, it feels awesome. It's lovely to be on this side of it. There was obviously I really enjoy the process of it all, but after being titleless for 2 years, it's nice to get one back and get back on that journey to stay at the top. I think that's the pursuit I really enjoy, and to show that myself and everyone around me, coaching staff, everyone, that we're doing the right things is a good confidence boost going into a big summer.
And of course, we all know that it's probably a little bit sweeter because the last time we saw you in a world final, you limped away and it was a bad injury.
Yeah, there was definitely a lot of demons to get over. A lot of random stuff cropping up mentally, going through warm up and going through everything after dealing with all the stuff that was happening in Tokyo. So yeah, it's good to be back and not having any issues, but just going through that mental warfare that is, last time you were out there with some bad juju. So yeah, it was fun to deal with those demons and get past those, and now I can focus on the big things coming up this year, and some big home championships and some big races too. So this one was a huge stepping stone and massive in my career to get back to where I want to be on top. Yeah. You know what it is? I watched it back this morning, and the camera kept cutting away whenever I was making mistakes, and so I don't know how much I have to tip the cameraman on that one, but it did look a lot better on TV than it felt during the race. So yeah, I got put in a couple of battles with some people that I didn't need to be in earlier on in the race, and positioning problems, but that's racing for you. It's not ever going to be as clean as you want it to be. It's never going to go exactly how you want it to go. So the funny thing and the main thing whenever I ask someone for some advice on racing that isn't my coach, it's always just, maybe be the first one when you get across the line. And that's all that really mattered yesterday. And that's just kind of the plan Z tactic, which was just, go hard at 200, make your move decisive and see what you got left in the tank.
Tell us a bit about this celebration at the end, the background to it. And it's just a bit of fun. There's no malice in it, is there?
No, there's never malice in anything. It's a bit of fun. It's a bit of personality, and obviously coming off a tough end of the season last year. Ending the season on crutches, and then working my way back to where I was for that 2 mile in February, and then getting that celebration put on me was just the exact fuel that I needed for my fire with a 6-week build coming into a world championship. So. Yeah, definitely spur of the moment, and just kind of showing that that was a big thing that was putting me through my steps in the last 6 weeks or so.
And we need things to talk about in the sport, and we need British gold medals, and you delivered both.
I appreciate that. I think we're going to get some more today. We've got some big performances coming up, and I think everyone needs to tune in. We've got our team captain going, which I think is going to be an awesome race. We obviously have Keely going. She's looking as fit as ever. I think she's going to dominate that race, and so. Yeah, it's going to be an exciting one, and we got to make sure we're packing out the stands and watching on TV. So it's an important meet to continue to watch.
Well, brilliant to catch up with you this morning. Congratulations again.
Appreciate it. Thank you very much.
So Josh Kerr talking to Michael, and let's talk about the controversy, the celebration, the winding up of Cole Hocker. Cole Hocker wasn't happy about it and said he needs his own celebration. But this is what we love about Josh Kerr, isn't it? He's had the rivalry with Jakob Ingebrigtsen, who's injured and out of it, and now Cole Hocker's there, and he's winding him up. He is a wind-up merchant, Josh Kerr. But again, like Molly Caudery, he's done exactly what I asked him to do, which is deliver at these World Championships. And this is success. This is people who are, as you said, even in Paris when he won that silver medal, he'd already won an Olympic medal in Tokyo 4 years before that. So we knew he was a serial winner, but he's proved it, and he's proved it But the fact that he was on crutches 6 months ago at those World Outdoors, as you mentioned, and he's come back fitter and stronger and he's won that race. And he never looked like he was going to get caught. When he took the lead, he never looked like he was going to get caught.
No, everyone, including you and me, watching it together on Saturday evening, albeit in different houses, but messaging each other as it was unfolding. We're like, this is perfect. What a great race. Tactically astute. You heard from him there. He said, no, he made loads of mistakes in the race. We hadn't spotted it. No one else seemed to spot it. Again, Josh Kerr doesn't race very much, does he? I mean, you don't see him out and about on the circuit. I've been critical in the past of athletes that choose not to race. That said, he does turn up for the major championships. And those are the races I think that I want to see my big names and my favourites in. And he does turn up and he tends to do pretty well in them if he's fit, if he's healthy. You know, we talked about no gold medal at the outdoors in Tokyo last year. A fit Josh Kerr in that final might have been that gold medal. Of course, Georgia Hunter-Bell won a silver. Keely won the bronze, as we know, in the same race. But yeah, he's turned up for this one. He said that it was just part of the preparation. Glasgow's his focus. That's brilliant to hear that he wants to do the Commonwealth Games, wants to win. He was very disappointing in Birmingham in 2022 at the Commonwealth Games there. But great. And as for being a wind-up merchant, I mean, I've read a couple of interviews, seen a couple of interviews with him today, in which he was obviously asked similar questions to the ones that we asked him. He said, you know, sport's not necessarily about rivalries, because a lot of people make the rivalry between him and Jakob Ingebrigtsen, Cole Hocker. There'll be a big thing about Jake Whiteman in the rivalry. You would imagine in the build-up to Commonwealth Games, both Scots going after the same medal over the same distance, potentially. He just said sport's about moments. And actually, I find that really hard to disagree with. It's just about moments. British athletics have had their moment tonight, and they've had their moment at these championships with Josh and the others.
I suppose it's going back to the glory days of the 80s where we really wanted Ovett, Cram and Co to all hate each other. And they probably did at times, but they were also teammates, but also wanted to win. And as you say, create moments for themselves as well. And we want that with Josh a little bit as well. But absolutely great to see. And he, as you say, he's there. He's won it. He's got a gold medal in his back pocket. And now he moves on to these Commonwealth Games, which are going to be huge for him this summer.
You're listening to Anything But Footy. We talk about the Olympics and the Paralympics all the time, not just once every 4 years. So we'll round up the rest of the headlines and highlights from the World Indoor Athletics Championships in Poland next.
If letters, numbers, and story time are part of your daily rhythm, don't miss the early bird sale happening now at The Good and the Beautiful. Save 15% on curriculum, learning games, and fun activities for preschool and up. Plus, get free shipping when you add 5 or more clean, wholesome bookshop books to your cart. Encourage strong reading skills, learn math with confidence, and explore our world with wonder. Visit goodandbeautiful.com and use discount code SPRING26 now through March 17th.
You're listening to Anything But Footy, the Olympic and Paralympic sport podcast. We've heard from one of my mates, Georgia Hunter-Bell. What about another one of them?
Yeah, Scott Lincoln delivered the best performance by a British athlete at a World Indoor or Outdoor Championships in the men's shot put final with a brilliant 4th place, just so close to that medal. He threw an indoor lifetime best of 21.13 metres in round 2, but it wasn't quite enough to dislodge the USA or New Zealand from the podium. And Michael caught up with Scott afterwards.
Right now, the emotions are raw. Pretty disappointed. Felt like, well, I was in medal contention all the way through. I think it was round 4 or 5 that I dropped out of the medals and then just couldn't quite figure it out to get there. But yeah, looking from a past me, I would have taken the opportunity of coming 4th place and being within a shout of a medal pretty well. So yeah, you just got to take the positives. It's a huge step forward. I was top European, 2nd Commonwealth athlete out there, so shows good signs for this summer.
Is that a measure of how far you've come in the past couple of years that you're disappointed with 4th in the world, Scott?
Yeah, absolutely. I actually had a conversation with Dill, my coach, about 2 days ago. We were speaking through a few things, and he basically said to me, look, there's there's 6 people in that competition that believe they can win. All the rest are, hoping for a miracle. And we know which one we're going to be, and we sure were. I honestly thought I could have gone out there and won it today, but it just didn't quite go my way.
How much confidence have you taken from the terrific performance you had outdoors at the World Championships last year?
Yeah, huge amounts. I feel like I got that monkey off my shoulder, monkey off your back, whatever the saying is. So I think making my first final last year, coming 8th at the outdoors, obviously that was a huge step forward, and it's just really opened the door. I no longer worry about making cuts and making top 8s now. It's more towards, getting the best performance out of me on the day. So, which I did, a season's best, indoor PB, if that means anything. We'll take it.
And I presume from what you said when we first started this conversation, you've got twin ambitions outdoors this year, and the Europeans and another Commonwealth Games medal must be sharply in view and in your focus now.
Yeah, without doubt. That's the whole aim for this year. We obviously have taken the indoor seriously and got into shape. I feel like I'm in a lot better shape than what I've produced, but sometimes that's how it goes. My training level's very high right now. I just need to match it in competition. By the time the Europeans and the Commonwealth Games come, I'll be ready.
And we know, obviously, you had relocated to Australia for a bit. So what's the plan now in the immediate aftermath of these champs?
So my flight got cancelled last week. So first of all, the tomorrow problem is to solve the issue, get a new route, and then fly back out probably end of next week. I'll go spend some time with my family now, just back home, and just enjoy life for a few days, and then just look at options of getting back out to Australia.
Well, thank you so much for your time, Scott. Really appreciate it. All the best and well done today.
Thanks, appreciate it, mate. Good to see you.
Yeah, measure of the man there that he was so disappointed with 4th. I once rowed down the River Ruse in the centre of York.
You've told me this on a dragon boat. I remember that.
with Scott Lincoln. I mean, if British rowing are listening, you probably don't want me and Scott in your crew. I don't think either of us would offer very much in a rowing 8, perhaps. but yeah, look, I mean, in all seriousness, 4th in the world. For a guy who has been to 2 Olympic Games and failed to qualify for the finals at each Games. I remember speaking to him trackside in Paris. He was devastated about not getting to that final. I remember actually sort of asking him, who's there for you tonight? Who's there going to put you together tonight? Because he did look like he needed putting back together. Lost his funding. There's a benefactor who we don't know anything about, who's come in and basically said, I'm going to fund you. He's changed everything. He's moved from York and Yorkshire to Australia, changed the whole coaching setup. It's paying dividends. I mean, outdoors last year did really well, reached that final, performed well in that final. Of course, 4th here in the indoors as well. I think he's frustrated that he's not won a medal. But those Europeans and those Commonwealth Games medals really look like they might be on the cards for someone that I've been speaking to and interviewing for a long, long time.
Fingers crossed for him in the summer.
You're listening to Anything But Footy. So we've been saying in our preview podcasts and when we've been building up to this event that we knew this was a strong Great Britain and Northern Ireland team. It was a strong Great Britain and Northern Ireland team. I think they finished 2nd on the medal table in terms of gold medals won, 4 gold medals won behind the USA, who won 5. They won a lot more medals, obviously, overall. They did go for it, Great Britain, to try and overhaul the Americans with the relay team. They put Keely Hodgkinson in the 4x400 and Dina Asher-Smith as well. I mean, we've mentioned Keely ran the fastest split of everyone, including the US, who won both the men's and the women's gold medal. But 2nd in the medal table, head of Italy, head of the Netherlands, head of France, these other nations that have been pretty competitive. I think we should be pleased with that. I just wonder, was it a little bit of a reaction to the fact that they didn't perform as well as they would have liked at the last World Outdoor Championships. I know that they needed to perform this time just to get people back on side.
I think having people fit and firing helps. Josh Kerr, Keely Hodgkinson, Molly Caudery, George Hunter Bell, that they, if they're in the race, they're going to win them. They're generally going to win a medal. So I think that really helped. I think it was great having Dina Asher-Smith back for the first time in 10 years. She said she looked like she was enjoying herself. I know that when you spoke to her last summer, she was enjoying her athletics a bit more, and had changed her coach and the like. And it seems like she's just enjoying being back. And as you say, being in the 4x4, it sounded like a good idea. It reminded us of John Regis in the 91 World Championships, wasn't it? When he suddenly stepped up from the 200 to the 400. I thought really what they should have done is put Dina on the first leg and just say, just go for it. Just keep us in there. And then and even Keely, because if you're gonna put someone in who's got something a bit different, a bit of a surprise, then they need to be in the race. And after the first 400 meters, we were in the race. And goodness knows how Keely ran 50 seconds, 50 or 50.1, I think it was. How she ran that when you're not even in a race. She was well out of it in 5th place by that point, and she was still going for it. So I think really interesting what you said about the medal table, because the US only actually are top because they won the 2 4x4 relays. So we were on there with 4 gold medals. We were top of the table before the US won the men and women's 4x4. And actually, apart from the women's 4x4, we didn't enter the mixed and we didn't enter the men's. And that was something that Paula Dunn had said that they were going to go away and work on from the World Championships outdoors, didn't it? That it didn't work. We didn't get any medals in the relays and it wasn't good enough. And so I think it kind of shows that we're still in that process. We're not quite there yet. But individually, I don't think you can argue that this is probably the greatest indoor games from a British point of view. From a world athletics point of view, we'll run through some of the headlines, but 2 world records, 6 championship records, 46 national records, and 12 world leading times. It's been a great 3 days, hasn't it? There's nothing quite like a championships when you've got a morning and an evening session over a course of a number of days. It's great fun, isn't it?
Yeah, I think from the relay high spot from a British point of view of Paris, when there was 5 relays, 5 medals, to then no medals in Tokyo, they're obviously having to rebuild that program, as you say. So I don't think we can kind of like look down on the Americans for getting to the top of the medal table, courtesy of their relay medals, because Great Britain have used that exact same tactic in the past. And if what Paula Dunn told us on Great British Bosses is true, they will do that exact same tactic again, and they will come strong in those medals. Yeah, I remember speaking to Dina and she telling me how happy she was last year during the summer season, the outdoor season. I think that was the beginning of the happy spell. She'd obviously gone across the US and had an unhappy time of it. And then she came back and things just were a little bit in flux for her. But I think mentally she was in a better place than she had been for a while. But now, having had a kind of year of being back in this country, back with a new coach, back with a new system, having come through an indoor season, then I do think that happiness, that mental happiness, will hopefully translate to a little bit of a purple patch in what is the latter stages of her career now. I mean, if she'd won a medal in the relays today, I think that meant that she was going to be the most decorated British athlete in terms of championship medals, in history. So not many people have got as many medals as Dina. It helps that you can run 100, a 200, a 4x1, now a 4x4 as well. It helps when you've got some options, doesn't it? But yeah, she does seem, and I said it, I think if you listen back to some of the pods last summer, I said I do think she does seem to be in a better place. Did seem happier, did seem just more within herself, more comfortable in her own skin as well. And I'm hoping that this is just a continuation of that. And she too has great opportunities going into the Europeans and the Commonwealth Games, certainly. And she said she wants to run in both of them this summer for another couple of big major medals.
Well, I mentioned the 46 national championships or national records that were set, and Dina set or broke her own record, didn't she?
Yeah, she broke her own national record in the 60 meters. I mean, we forget, having seen her in the relay, she was in the the 60, running a heat, a semi-final and a final as well, clocking 7.03 in the semis. Zonab Dosso of Italy, they've had a good winter, haven't they? I mean, in a couple of things. She won gold in the women's final. I think they're just a really good sports nation at the minute. I don't think it's just about the Winter Olympics and Paralympics. We saw it, didn't we, when they hosted the Europeans last time as well. Jasia Sears won silver for the US, and the Olympic 100-meter champion Julian Alfred got the bronze. Dina finished 7th in the final, 7.07. That was the first time in a 60 meters race with 7 women all running under 7.10 seconds.
Wow.
Amy Hunt missed out on the final. She was 9th fastest in the semis, so she missed a place. I mean, still looking at her start, she's got a bit of work to do on that. She's a tall athlete. Certainly when you look at her physicality and you look at the way she attacks those races, the 100 and the 200 outdoors, she's much more suited to those, I think.
And you mentioned Italy briefly, the Winter Olympics, the Winter Paralympics, the athletics, indoors, outdoors, as you say, the rugby as well, beating England for the first time. They've had a pretty good winter. Now, Jordan Anthony of the USA won gold in the men's 60 metres with Shane Thompson of Jamaica silver. US also won bronze in Trayvon Bromell. Defending British champion Jeremiah Azu on Friday night missed out on that podium by finishing 4th in 0.01 seconds, just behind bronze. He did set a new Welsh record, though, and became the 2nd fastest Brit of all time on the route to the final. So, again, a stepping stone ahead of a busy summer.
We spoke to Jeremiah on one of our 2 preview podcasts here at Anything But Footy. We also spoke to Yemi Mary John, who didn't qualify in her 400 metres heat on day 1. Ben Patterson, meanwhile, missed out on a place in the final in the men's 800 metres. He got a bit trapped behind a group in the last lap of his semi-final. And that meant that Cooper Lukenhaus became the youngest ever winner of the men's 800 metres indoor title. He's just 17 years old. I was at the Philanthropist and Firkin in St Albans at 17 years of age. I certainly wasn't winning world titles. He's from the USA. He won in impressive style as he led from the last lap.
Switzerland's Simon Ehammer regained his heptathlon title and recorded a world record score of 6,670 points. Get it right. He was the world indoor gold medalist in 2024 and the silver medalist last year as well. The reason why we've had 3 world indoors in a row is because Nanjing last year, the China world indoors, was hung over from 2022, I think, because of COVID. So it didn't happen in 2022. It's supposed to just be a biannual thing, but we've had Glasgow 24, China 25, and now Poland 26.
Yeah, talking of hangovers, me at the Firkin in St Albans at the age of 17. I wonder if it's still a thing. Davian Charlton equalled her own world record to secure her 3rd successive world indoor 60-metre hurdles title. She clocked 7.65. The Bahama hurdler matched the mark she achieved to win her first gold in Glasgow in 2024 and has now become the first 3-time winner of this title.
It does help when it's every year. The World Athletics Council has selected Odisha in India and Astana in Kazakhstan to host the next World Athletics Indoor Championships. And they will be held not every year, every 2 years, 2028 in India and 2030 in Kazakhstan.
This is Anything But Footy. So let's check out some other news from the games then. We'll start with gymnastics. Jo Fraser and Ruby Evans, congratulations to them both, crowned all-around British champions at the British Gymnastics in Liverpool. Ruby became the first Welsh winner since 1971. And Jo beat Jonas Rushworth and Jake Jarman to finish at the top spot of the podium.
In the men's individual apparatus finals, Jake Jarman won the floor title. He'll be going in the World Championships later this year. Harry Hepworth the rings, and Reuben Ward won the men's pommel apparatus final. One to watch.
Ali Elite won the women's beam final. Abby Martin, the women's vault, and Olympic medalist Alice Kinsella returned to action after having a baby. Finished 4th in the beam, and the Olympic champion Max Whitlock also returned after his return from retirement after Paris 2024.
Yeah, we'll see how he gets on in the weeks and months to come. 100 days to go before the Wimbledon Championships 2026, and VAR is going to be at SW19. You cannot wait for this. We're going to have video review technology on the show courts: centre court number 1, court number 2, number 3, number 12, and court 18. And effectively, this means that players will be allowed to review specific judgment calls made by the chair umpire. So not whether it's in or out in terms of the lines, because as we know, that's all automated and done by AI anyway, although it didn't quite get it right last year, but I'm sure it will this year. But it'll be other calls that the chair umpire makes. So they will be able to appeal it, and the players will not be limited to the number of reviews that they can request. So we're going to see big screen action at Wimbledon with people waiting to see what VAR comes up with. Let's hope it's better than football.
I was just about to say, something's quicker. Something's quicker than football. I mean, Wimbledon could still be going on in October otherwise, couldn't it? Joshua Stacey and Erin McKibben beat the reigning world and European champions to take gold in the men's Class 18 doubles at the World Table Tennis Para Challenger event in Lignano in Italy. Neil Robinson and Megan Shackleton won bronze in the mixed Class 7 doubles.
And Team GB and England rugby player Megan Jones has been named captain of the Red Roses for 2026. The 29-year-old replaces 2025 Women's Rugby World Cup winning captain Zoe Stratford, who's expecting her first baby.
Congratulations to her. And for the first time ever, and I think we may well have predicted it on this podcast a while back, the opening ceremony of the Commonwealth Games in Glasgow is going to be held in an arena. The Hydro will host what we're being told will be the most innovative opening ceremony for Glasgow 2026, and it's going to take place on the 23rd of July later on this year. Organisers are now calling for 700 enthusiastic, energetic volunteers to be part of something unforgettable. So a different type of opening ceremony, maybe something that we saw a little bit with the Winter Olympics and the Paralympics, where we could see teams on video as opposed to a big athletes parade. But essentially, it's going to be an arena show this time around. I think we said that was probably going to be the way forward with the new footprint and the new model of the games.
Well, also as well, just the fact that you can get everybody in the Hydro. It's quite central. We know that they want to try and keep it contained. The 4 venues are all within about 8 miles of each other. We know the athletics venue is not going to be as big as we saw at Hampden in 2014, for example. So yeah, I think it's right. And the Hydro, you can do things with it, the lighting and the screens and the outside of it, and it's right on the River Clyde, as we know as well. And it's going to be a spectacular summer. We can't wait for the Glasgow 2026 Games.
You can follow all the build up to that and all the other Olympic and Paralympic news on our social media. You can always get in touch with us on our website, anythingbutfooty.com. Listen to our favourite songs, our favourite Olympic songs on our Spotify Olympics music playlist. You're listening to Anything But Footy. We are the Olympic and Paralympic sport podcast. Some might say we're the best Olympic podcast in the UK and the best Paralympic podcast globally. We are gearing up for Glasgow and we're looking ahead to LA.